Hi everyone, thanks for tuning back in. I'm on a tiny little road trip. Wouldn't even call it a road trip, actually it's only 10-15 minutes along the coast from where I live. I'm on leave from work for a few days, so I'm just doing bits of photography that I wanted to do for a little while but just never really got round to it. Not big photography, no kind of big road trips, just something local, and it's in Roker at Seaburn. Nothing special, it's just a picture I've wanted for a little while. I've seen plenty of pictures from this location before, and the reason I've picked this particular time, which is 3:15, is because there's a high tide and the wind's died down because we've had quite a few storms lately, and there's some decent colour on the clouds. The sun hasn't set, it's nowhere near setting, it's probably an hour away, but I just wanted a little bit of colour on the clouds. The reason being, I'm doing a long exposure for this particular shot, and it's just a set of concrete stairs leading down to the beach, but the water at this point comes all the way up to these stairs, and I've always found it a little bit odd. It always looks strange and unusual, which is why I like it. And the idea of a long exposure is to get the kind of mistiness of the water, the kind of mirror-like, probably not the right word, but the kind of smoothness of the water of those stairs to give it that kind of ethereal look. The long exposure will, of course, then give some detail to the clouds kind of sweeping by, because it's still pretty windy and the clouds are moving quite quick. So I've got the 10-stop filter. I have a 10-stop filter. I'll be using, I would imagine, either the 18-55 Fuji or my 12mm Fuji, probably the 18-55 truthfully, and see what I get from this. It's not a complex image, it's not a unique image, it's been done plenty of times, but I've never actually been to these stairs before. I've never seen the tide up to them before. Let me know what you think. Here's what happens. So this is the stairs that I was on about, and you can see where the tide obviously goes up the steps, which I think looks pretty cool, and it looks pretty good on photographs too. I'm doing a 30-second exposure now of the scene, ISO 640 with a 10-stop ND filter on, and this is what it looks like. See how the waves are all smooth and kind of misty. That's the kind of shot that I was after, and it looks pretty awesome on camera. I've done some landscape shots of it as well. Now I've got to manually focus the lens, just simply because the ND filter acts as a pair of sunglasses. Almost it reduces the amount of light by 10 stops. Just so I can take longer exposures, like a 30-second exposure of this scene now, while the sky's still light, would just blow it out to be totally washed out. With this ND filter on, 10 stops means I can take these longer exposures and get a different look to the scene. So like I said, I'm doing a 30-second exposure, which I think is coming out pretty good on the detail in here. That light's lush on the stonework there, and lush kind of mistiness on the water.